What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and Disney's Disney Plus Day and Disney's D23 event is right around the corner, where we can expect to get some major reveals of Marvel Studios' Phase 6, and perhaps even some surprise projects for Phase 5 as well. There's always the possibility that they haven't showed us all of Phase 5 and they're saving some for these two big events. No doubt some huge projects are coming, like Deadpool 3, hopefully the X-Men, which we are going to talk about in this video, and other projects like Nova. The future is exciting. However, at San Diego Comic-Con this year, Marvel Studios did reveal two insanely huge projects: Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and not too long after that, Avengers Secret Wars. And these two movies are going to be unlike any other movies that we've ever seen in the MCU so far. And there's a few reasons why, and mostly it's actually because of the villains. Now, obviously, we know that one of the big bads of the MCU right now is Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror, or I should say a variant of Kang the Conqueror, was introduced in Loki as He Who Remains. He explained how all of his other variants initially started a huge multiversal war, and he himself alone harnessed the power of Alioth and ended the multiversal war. Then he created the TVA and the Sacred Timeline and kept all of his other evil variants away. However, he did tell Loki and Sylvie that if they killed him, all of his evil variants would be unleashed. And that's what happened, and that's what we're about to see in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and then in the Kang Dynasty. However, there is another villain lurking out there who is about to enter the MCU pretty soon, and that is Doctor Doom. And I specifically believe that we are going to see a version of God Emperor Doom in Secret Wars. However, I do think that Doctor Doom is going to be somewhat of a good guy, at least at first, when he's introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think he'll start off as good, but you'll kind of have this hunch, and Marvel will lead you to believe that there is sort of a darker side to him, and that perhaps he could have some ulterior motives. Now, the villains, these two, specifically Kang and Doctor Doom, and some of the aspects that come with these villains are going to be why these two new Avengers films are going to be so incredible. One is the multiverse is going to be a major part of these two movies, and variants are going to be a huge part of this film as well. Now, right off the bat, I mentioned Deadpool and mutants. I think everybody knows that we're going to have a ton of different variants in Avengers Secret Wars, at least. Hopefully we start to see some variants in the MCU before then, but we know that they're going to show up in Secret Wars. That's really what the movie is about. In the comics, Secret Wars is about incursion, two universes colliding into each other. This is something that we learned about in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but is a huge part in the comics of Secret Wars as well. So, universes collide, and through incursion and universes colliding, we are going to get a bunch of different variants of characters all together. So of course, we'll have some people from the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and of course the X-Men. Now, I've heard something recently about the X-Men. There's a rumor going around that Deadpool, when he enters the MCU, is going to be bringing some of his friends with him. And yes, I am talking about Domino and Cable, but I'm also talking about some other friends as well, possibly from the X-Mansion. Right now, rumor has it that some X-Men characters might actually not be recast from the Fox universe, but they will simply bring some over into our universe from the Fox universe, and they will remain the same. This is both pretty cool, but also kind of concerning because we don't have any idea on which X-Men characters they're going to be bringing over and not recasting. There were a lot of problems with the Fox X-Men towards the end there, but it wasn't really the actors' fault, and some of them played pretty good roles. So if we get some characters like Michael Fassbender's Magneto, that would be pretty dang cool. However, there are some characters that we would like to be recast, and I'm pretty sure Hugh Jackman's Wolverine isn't coming with Deadpool, although that would be pretty epic. But that is the X-Men rumor that I've heard. We'll see what happens in the end. Regardless, the X-Men in some way, shape, or form, whether it's old characters or new X-Men in our Marvel Cinematic Universe, are indeed going to be in Secret Wars. Now, here's the thing. I actually think Doctor Doom is going to kill Kang and get rid of a lot of his variants. You see, Kang and Doctor Doom are both so dangerous because they're both so intelligent. Yes, they are both super powerful in their own ways. Kang has technology that is so far advanced that we can't really comprehend right now, and Doctor Doom in the comics is an extremely powerful sorcerer, but they're both incredibly intelligent. This is what makes them so dangerous. Specifically, I think this is how God Emperor Doom will come about. I'll explain more in just a bit, but first, thank you to Best Fiends for sponsoring this video. I think we all know how much pressure life can put on us sometimes, and I know it's really easy to put off having a little bit of relaxation time and a little bit of fun. But that shouldn't be how it is, and with Best Fiends, an exciting puzzle adventure game, you can have fiendish fun anywhere, anytime. Best Fiends is an awesome puzzle game that I truly enjoy because it's not just connecting in straight lines, but you can actually connect diagonally, which is a lot more fun, and you can play it anytime because it's super quick to play, and you level up very, very easily. In fact, the first time I played it for only a few minutes, I got all the way to level 6. That's because this game is really easy to just pick up and get in the zone because it's super fun. 1 second you're on level 1, and then the next thing you know, you've connected enough times to get to level 6. And there are literally thousands of different levels you can play, and the best part is Best Fiends is free to download. So don't put off your fun time anymore, you've definitely earned it. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's Best Fiends without the R. Now, back to God Emperor Doom. Avengers the Kang Dynasty is obviously going to be about Kang, and not just one version of Kang, but many different variants of Kang. This has already been confirmed by Kevin Feige and other executives at Marvel Studios. But Avengers the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars are kind of like a part 1 and a part 2. They're kind of like Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So, at the end of the Kang Dynasty, something major has to happen, and what I think is going to happen is that Doom is going to kill a major variant of Kang, take his technology and use that to time travel all throughout time, the past, the present, and definitely the future, and use time travel to essentially gain anything that he wants. Weapons, technology, learn more about sorcery. The reason that Kang is so powerful is that he can control time, and if you can control time, you can essentially stop time. So basically, Doom has all the time in the world if he gets his hands on Kang's technology to learn and become more powerful. And again, like I mentioned, in the comics, he's an insanely powerful sorcerer. We saw how strong Wanda got simply by studying the Darkhold for a little bit. Imagine how strong Doctor Doom is going to get in the MCU if he has an unlimited amount of time. He has all of that time to learn and to gain new technology. This is what makes Kang so dangerous. He has very advanced technology, and he can see what's going to happen. Now, take all of that and give it to one of the most powerful sorcerers that Marvel Comics has ever seen, Doctor Doom. Well, you pretty much get God Emperor Doom. Now, of course, I know this is not the same God Emperor Doom from the comics, but Marvel Studios doesn't really adapt comics page for page as we know. They're basically just inspired by the stories, and I don't think the Beyonder is going to be showing up in Avengers Secret Wars in the MCU. I don't think it's time for that yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Doctor Doom is known for tricking people in the comics, and that is how I believe he is going to get his hands on Kang's technology. I actually think Doom is going to be tricking both the Avengers and other heroes and Kang. And of course, it's to get what he wants, all about him. Of course, he's going to trick the Avengers by making them think that he is fighting along their side trying to defeat Kang so they can save the universe and the multiverse. But then I think he's going to tell Kang that he really wants to work with him and that he'll betray the Avengers when really he's going to betray everybody. I believe that he's going to get a little bit close with Kang, learn a little bit about his time travel, and then steal a device from him that enables him to control time himself. And that is how I believe that Doom is going to become the most powerful villain that we've ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A sorcerer who in the comics has the ability to take on Galactus, combined with time travel technology that allows you to travel through the multiverse, pretty much makes you a god. And that's how I believe we're going to get the MCU's version of God Emperor Doom. But don't take Kang lightly. Just because God Emperor Doom could trick Kang doesn't mean that Kang is down and out. If Kang is not killed, and let's face it, Kang can't really ever be killed because he has so many different variants and can transfer his consciousness into them right before he dies, that means that he could always come back, and I believe in Secret Wars we'll have a Doom versus Kang battle, which means the Avengers are kind of going to have to pick a side at least at first. So I think in the Kang Dynasty they're going to go up against Kang, but at the end, Doom is ultimately going to take Kang's power and in Secret Wars become the true villain, in which I think they're going to have to team up with some variants of Kang to defeat Doom. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU content. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.